feel like Shannon's usually here, but maybe not tonight. I feel bad for her. I feel like every night is Junior League for poor Shannon.
So dedicated.
I know. I'm like, it's a full-time job. She's like on email all day, and then her evenings are like hosting all the virtual events. How was your day?
I love your sweatshirt. Is that the new swag?
Yes, this is from the swag store. It's so cozy. I needed a new one.
Oh.
I got the cropped one too, but it's too cold. My belly is freezing.
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, oh my God, that's so bold.
Yes, right?
I love it.
Hi, Alicia. We're just it's automatically muting people as they join.
Okay, cool.
You
great.
look fabulous. We
Thank
are obviously early.
Yes.
People are going to join. We've got like 60 plus people signed up, which I'm
incredible.
so excited about.
I'm so awesome. So excited.
So I figured we'll kind of give the 6 o'clock start time, maybe a couple minutes for people to join afterwards.
Yeah,
then
totally.
Like 6:03, 6:04, I would give a little introduction to you.
Cool.
Throw the link to your website in the chat so that if people are interested in kind of contacting you for more, I'll do that at the beginning of the session and at the end of the session, that they can follow up there. Is there anything else like your Instagram handle? Do you want me to type that in there too?
Yeah.
Is that okay,
Yeah,
great.
that would be awesome. Instagram handle would be great. I have a little like gift offer at the end, but I'll pop my link in there for people to come and schedule a call with me. So just to like solidify the process that we're going to talk through, and
awesome.
I'll let everyone sign in and I'll be right back.
Perfect. Yes, take your time. Hi, everyone. We're just waiting for everyone to log on. So feel free to grab a tea or a stronger beverage, and we'll get started just after 6.
And one thing I wanted to mention is everyone is going to need a notebook and a pen. So
okay, helpful. I'll make note of that too.
Yeah, or a piece of paper, whatever is fine. And we're going to get into that maybe probably 10 or 15 minutes in, something like that.
Awesome. I'm going to go grab mine.
Cool. Perfect.
Hi, everyone. We're just allowing some time for everyone to sign in. As you wait, you are going to need a piece of paper or a notebook, as well as a pen or a pencil for this workshop. So make sure that that's in your vicinity. And we'll get started just after 7. I kept saying 6. It's 7. Lots of people seem to be signing on now, which is excellent. If you've just signed on, please make sure you have either a piece of paper or a notebook, as well as a pen or a pencil nearby. We'll be using that for this workshop. We'll get started in a few minutes.
Intentions. Was that a scoff you just did, or were you choking on an almond?
Is that a scoff?
Mhm.
I was scoffing at you scoffing. Would you like a cup of coffee?
Hey everyone, welcome. I think we're going to get started in a few minutes, but I'd love to get to know all of you. I'm obviously new to your community, so if you'd love to share in the chat, I'd love to hear where you're calling in from, and one thing you'd like to change about your life this year, and one thing you'd like to keep in your life this year.
It's too bad.
Hello, everyone. We'll wait just 2 more minutes. I still see the number of participants upticking, but if you haven't had a chance to grab a pen or notebook, a paper or a notebook, as well as a pen or a pencil, you will be needing that for our class. In addition, Alicia has just asked everyone to write in the chat where you are calling in from, something that you'd like to keep going this year in 2022, and then one thing that you might like to change in 2022. So as you guys are working on that, we'll let a few more people sign in, and then we'll get started just in 1 more minute.
Love these. I love all your shares. Thanks, you guys. It's so nice for me to get to know you a little bit better, especially as I'm brand new to your community here. Thank you, Catherine, for inviting me. I love these. I see a lot of common themes around career and relationships, both romantic and platonic, which is awesome. We're going to be talking a lot about that today. So I think it's going to be perfect for what you guys are looking for. I'm so excited.
These are really fun to read. All right, well, without further ado, I'd like to get us started. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Catherine Donahue. I live here in Boston. It's my second year in the league. By day, I'm a realtor in the greater Boston area, and I moonlight as the chair of the social events committee here at the league. So Alicia and I met over the summer, and I knew that she would be a really good fit for our group here. And I'm really just so excited that so many of us were able to attend this evening. I will give you a little bit about Alicia and then pop some of her contact information, her website and her Instagram handle in the chat so that if you want to learn more about her, follow along with her, you can do so. And then I will turn it over to her. So without further ado, Alicia is a health coach, self-love advocate, and passionate wellness advisor, helping women conquer their inner critic, activate their confidence, trust in their bodies, and make peace with their plate. Alicia, I turn it over to you and really look forward to what you've got planned for us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for being here. If you're just joining on, you will need a notebook or piece of paper and a pen. We're going to be doing a little meditation too, so hopefully you can find yourself in a quiet and comfortable space. And with that, let's kick it off. I'm going to share my screen. Let me get organized here. Awesome. All right, so I am super excited to share this workshop with you guys. I have done like so many workshops, and this one is by far my favorite that I've put together. It's actually the first time I'm doing it. So it's something that I take my clients through in practice, but actually sharing it on a condensed version was like, just gave me all the feels, lit me up all inside. So maybe it's a little bit woo-woo for you guys, but you know, you're here with me tonight on this experience about manifestation and intention setting. But I truly believe that the seed for this event was planted 5 years ago, sort of at the beginning of my personal development journey. And at that time, I found myself living someone else's life. I was doing all the things I was supposed to do, and yet I felt I was living really unintentionally. And that was leading me down this really authentic path. On paper, I had it all. I had a house in San Diego. I had a fiance. I had a 6-figure job. I was traveling all around the country. I had really fun people that I worked with. But what I found was that I was actually in the lowest vibration of my life. And that was for me, manifested in very physical, having a lot of physical sickness and just being really, really unhappy. And as part of my healing journey, because I realized that I couldn't continue on this way, as part of my healing journey, I started working with a health coach, and she had incredible transformation in my life, such an impactful person, and really our work together ignited my passion in becoming a health coach and supporting and serving other women going through similar transitions. So just to give you a little baseline of what to expect for this evening, first I'm going to go through a glossary of terms. I don't know what we're all bringing to the table when it comes to manifestation and intention setting, so I want to just baseline us. I'm going to do a little bit of a grounding meditation for all of us. I don't know what kind of day you've had, but mine's been crazy, hustling and bustling, so I want to center us into this space as we get into this practice. We're then going to do a foundational values exercise. You guys, this is like the first thing I take all my clients through, and it is so impactful and transformational for so many people, and I'm so excited to share that with you. I'm then going to share a little bit about this magic manifestation formula that I follow. We're going to obviously get into the ways that we set intentions. We're going to talk about a lot of practical examples, which I think you'll all really resonate with in terms of the things that you shared in the chat momentarily ago. And then last, just a quick highlight on Manifestation 101. So we're talking about intentions tonight. And as I was putting this presentation together, I wanted to get really clear on my own intentions and what I was bringing to this space. So my intentions for you this evening is that you learn something new, that this education brings you greater self-awareness and allows you to expand into your consciousness, that you have clarity in your personal and professional values as those serve as the foundation for our manifestation. That you will feel grounded, connected, and aligned to an intention for yourself, and that you will feel empowered and find the courage to reach out for support when you need it and when you are ready. So as I mentioned, let's talk about this glossary of terms. And the way that I like to kind of describe this whole manifestation intention setting process is if we start to think about the whole process as a flower or a planting. So our values are the seed, they're the foundation. Our intentions are the planting, the energy that we bring to the manifestation, which maybe you might consider it as goals. It can be kind of maybe used interchangeably. That is our flower or our bloom. Our visualization process, that is the water, the sun, the air, all of that is what really feeds our intention. And lastly, energy, which is the nourishment of our plant, the nourishment of our manifestation. And you can think about that as, are we planting and growing under a partly cloudy sky, or are we a vibrant and bright and sunny sky? So when we talk about our values, we're going to get through the exercise in just a minute. Our values are our seeds. This is really the foundation. And this is our guiding principle for our manifestations. And what I've found for values is they really serve as our compass when we have challenging decisions in our life. And boy, do we have a lot of those. And really getting clear on our values will completely change the way you think, feel, and behave in every area of your life. And this is what I experienced when I had massive change and transformation, leaving my corporate job, moving back to Boston, which is where I'm from, and following into my own alignment and all the manifestations that have come to life for me since then. And as I mentioned, big life transitions are really a great place to reflect on how your values have changed. And I encourage, each of you to revisit these, at least once a year. So when we think about the process and we think about intention as our planting, you might have a seed that can bloom into a flower, but if you don't plant it, it's never going to make it there. So our intention, it really serves as that planting step. And when you think about it, the dictionary term, it's really our determination to do something. And it's often based on a feeling or energy that we desire. And that embodied feeling or energy really drives our behaviors that lead to our manifestation. Another way to think of it is as a promise that you make to yourself. And having an intention allows you to bring awareness to how you choose to be, how you decide that you want to show up to your life, and how your life ultimately unfolds. And intentions are something that you can revisit frequently, annually, monthly, daily. There's no clear end to them. There's an endless amount of supply available to them when you want it. So of course, manifestation, that is our flower. If we think about it in terms of manifestation or maybe goals, you could use that interchangeably. This is the object of our ambition. That's the object of our effort, right? That beautiful flower that blooms. And it is the specific outcome that can be checked off a list. So for example, you might think of your manifestation as starting a business, getting a new job, moving to a new apartment, moving to a new city, getting with a new partner, calling in the one. And I want to share that oftentimes I believe in our society that there is this overemphasis on goals or manifestations without really understanding our values and our intention. And that's what I'm really excited to share with you today, because once you understand your values and your intentions, they really drive the goals for manifestations. So I talked a little bit about visualization. I'm going to kind of sprinkle this in throughout, but visualization is really that practice that feeds our intention. And if you have or haven't done visualization before, just to share a little bit about the magic of why it's so incredible, is because our brain perceives real life and imagination as the same. And we can think about it in sort of like the negative connotation, which is when our brain perceives stress from our job, from our life, from whatever is going on, we have that nervous system reaction, right? We go into fight or flight, even though there's no real fear in our life, right? There's no bear coming after us. There's no one trying to hurt us, right? But it feels like that in our physiological response. Well, the same is true on the positive side, which is if you want to, you have something really deep that you desire in your life, if you sit there and visualize it, experience it, be in the feeling, embody that happening, we're going to get into more of that in a few minutes. This is where the magic happens. Your brain can't perceive that this imagination, this visualization that you're having isn't your actual real life. So that magic formula that I spoke about is what I call belief, behavior, results. So if we think about our belief in something, it drives our behavior, which drives our results. And in our woo-woo terms, it's our values that drive our intentions, that drive our manifestation. And so I'm going to just break it down on a really, really basic level that I think everyone can probably understand is, let's just talk about weight loss for a second. Many people have this belief that they want to lose weight, right? That's sort of the result. I want to lose 15 pounds. And they go through behaviors that maybe keep them inconsistent in that end result. But when we have a vacation or a wedding that we're getting ready for, oftentimes losing that 15 pounds becomes no problem at all. And that's because what we're valuing is our desire to lose the weight. Our behavior changes because we know that we want to make it in time for that result. And all of a sudden, we've been able to lose weight when there's that pressure of the event that we're losing it for. So that's just a little bit of kind of a breakdown of what that can look like in a real life example. And we're going to obviously go through a lot of that now. And I hope that this talk will inspire you to look at that in your own life. So belief drives behaviors, drives results. Values drive our intentions, which drive our manifestations. Write that down if you didn't. So as I mentioned, I imagine we're all coming from a busy day. Perhaps you're even on the road now in movement. So if you are, I encourage you to just connect with us in terms of breathing. If you're able to sit and you're in a comfortable place, let's take a few minutes to just do a little bit of a grounding meditation. So I encourage you to find a comfortable seat. It would be lovely if you can lean your back up against a wall or a couch or a bed or something of that sort. And I invite you to turn your camera off if that feels safer, but of course you're more than welcome to leave it on as well. So just take a moment and let your eyelids get heavy as we begin that journey inward. And go ahead and let yourself kind of just roll out any kinks as we transition from doing to slowing down, being, trusting, softening. I'm going to do just a quick body scan to center you into this present moment. We focus on your crown, your head, and lift that towards the sky. Feel your spine straighten, and your sit bones get heavy. Gently press your tongue to the back of your front teeth. Allow that to relax your jaw, relax all the muscles in your face. A lot of tension here, sometimes unintentionally. And drop your shoulders down and back. And just open through your collarbone. Open through your heart space. Prepare yourself to expand and receive. Just take a couple of cleansing breaths. So I want you to take a long, slow, deep breath down into your belly. You can exhale, open mouth, exhale if that feels good. Tension from your day. 2 more. So we're going to take a long, slow, deep inhale. Exhale any busy thoughts or to-do lists, worries. Just imagine them fluttering right out of your crown. Last long, slow, deep breath deep into your belly. Exhale, grace, passion, love, acceptance. Just allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Take a moment to just present yourself with your body. Take a minute to observe any physical feelings or sensations, any tightness or tension. You can focus your breath there. Think about just relaxing that energy, relaxing any tension or tightness. And take a moment just to focus on your heart space. Observe the weight there. Does it feel heavy? Do you feel fluttery? Feel worried? I invite you to open and expand your heart in this moment. To open yourself to the possibility that your life can be anything that you desire. All of your dreams, anything that you could possibly imagine is yours. Take a minute to just be with that. Recognize how that feels in your body. And when you're ready, open your eyes, bring yourself back to the present moment. Amazing. You know, I definitely feel a lot more grounded and connected after that. So let's jump in to our value mapping exercise. Like I mentioned, this is something that I take my clients through when we first start working together. It really is the foundation for how you will live your life. And so I'm so excited to share this with you today. Ideally, you have a journal or a piece of paper. And I will take you through the process in just a minute, but I want to share my journal. So I like to use a journal or a page where I split it down the middle, and I'm going to be writing on either side. So you're going to do the same, whether you decide to do it down the middle, top and bottom, depending on your journal or your notebook. And on one side at the top, you're going to write personal, and the other side, you're going to write professional. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off kind of rapid fire, 60 plus words. So it's a fair list. And you're going to, by your intuition, put that word in either column. So make sure that you can go back and read these words. I won't go too fast, I promise. Like I said, there's probably about 60, almost 70 words, so leave space for writing. And then I'm going to take you through the next step. So if you're all ready, this is a little bit more challenging now that I'm not with one individual person, but let's get going. So as I read the words, you decide right from your heart space. You'll have a feeling, have an intuition, write it on either side. If it's too conflicting and you feel like it goes in both, you can write it down the middle, but try and go with your gut choice on it. Okay, so our first word, security. Faith. And I have a chat here that someone said the internet timed out. So let me just repeat the rules one more time for her. So you're going to have a piece of paper. You're going to split it in half. On one side, you're going to write professional. On the other side, you're going to write personal. I'm going to read off about 60 to 70 words to you, kind of rapid fire. You're going to go with your gut and write them on either side of the paper. Yes, you can write down all the ones that resonate. I would imagine many of these will resonate. If there's one that like just totally doesn't fit, you can feel free to leave it. That's really a good indication that it's definitely not one of your values. So, all right, any more questions? I do have the chat open now so I can see you. So go ahead and pop it in there. All right, so our first word is security, followed by faith. Tranquility. Mindfulness. Vision. Curiosity. Passion. Balance. Self-actualize. Respect. Adventure. Recognition. Inspire. Legacy. Family. Imagination. Wealth. Empathy. Achievement. Love. Joy. Freedom. Spirituality. Playful. Health. Gratitude. Accountability. Nature. Structure. Independence. Fun. Learning. Compassion. Positivity. Boldness. Growth. Uniqueness. Honesty. Quality. Entrepreneurship. Equality. Integrity. Flexibility. Focus. knowledge, excellence, connection, diversity, service, simplicity, teamwork, challenge, partnership, creativity, community, wisdom, leadership. Almost done if you're running out of space. Organization, adaptability, discipline, consistency, communication, intellect, harmony, humility, confidence, charity. Awesome. I know it's a lot of words. I hope you guys were able to find a home for each of them. And so kind of the next step in the process is I'm going to give you a minute or two, and I want you to run your eyes down the list, read out loud as much and as far as you can. And I want you to feel in your heart space probably 5 to 6 words that really stand out to you. And maybe you already felt them as you were writing, right? They struck something, you had a thought about them, you felt a feeling in your body. Those 5 or 6 that you identify on each side are your top values. And of course, this list is not extensive, right? It's 67 words, and there may be many that I missed that resonate with you in a different way. So I encourage you to write anything that comes to mind. But why don't we just take a minute? I'm gonna time it on my phone. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. You're all on mute. So this is the process I typically take clients through, is I let them read them out loud, because when you read them out loud, it really hits in a different way. So go ahead and do that now. You'll just read from either side of the list, make a little star, check mark, heart, circle, whatever you feel that really is on the words that really resonate with you. I have some music for this part, so I apologize. For anybody who had clarity early, I invite you to share 1 or 2 of your top values in the chat. Maybe there's something that really resonated with you or struck you or surprised you. Go ahead and write whether it was personal or professional, in the word or two or three that you identified. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for sharing. So Anastasia said, learning, integrity, and growth really stood out to her because they applied to both, but she put them in personal. I have a lot like that myself, so I can definitely relate. Professional for Megan, curiosity, learning, knowledge. Yep, I have a couple of those in mind too. Celeste has achievement, passion, and growth made it onto both sides, definitely. Christina, adventure, compassion, simplicity. Lauren said inspire, legacy, imagination, achievement, and organization, all in personal. Yes. Catherine, organization stood out. Yeah, I know you. That definitely rings true. I love that. Michaela said balance, freedom, and confidence. Yeah, freedom is one of mine too. Professional was vision, excellent achievement. Haley said learning and organization, amazing. Thank you guys for sharing in there. A little bit of homework for you if you feel called to it, is I encourage you to spend some time journaling and really get clear on what the definition is for you for each of those words, right? Because they can really mean different things for different people. And I love the shares, so please continue to share in the chat as you get clarity on that and that practice for you. Okay, so moving on, just to kind of transition us, right? This is a quote from a lot of these very well-known, people in the personal development manifestation space. So where attention goes, energy flows. And I think Tony Robbins specifically said this one, but it's definitely a mantra that's practiced by law of attraction and anybody else who really practices manifestation work. So now I want to get into talking a little bit more about our intentions. So as I mentioned before, we start with our value, right? That is the foundation, the core at which we operate, our manifestations can come through, and how we make really challenging decisions in our life. I encourage you to leave your list somewhere in your journal or somewhere that you can reference it. And by way of when you do come across a challenging decision in your life, it's so amazing to have. I actually have mine on a note in my phone because I love to look at it. It drives my intentions for my day, for my life, for my week, for my year. So first, we start with a value that really inspires you. I'm going to just take an example through here for each of us. So I'm going to just talk about service. So if that is the value that really inspires me, that's the one that's really sticking out amongst my list of 12. My sort of next step is really to embody that feeling of service. And it's not about like what it is that we're chasing. It's always about how it makes us feel once we get there. So, for me, when I'm in service, I feel excited, fulfilled. I feel with love and abundance. Some other words are strong feelings that you may connect with, whether it's related to service or another value that you've picked. Safety or success or worthiness, wealthy, inflow, connected, empowered. And the cool thing is, just like I talked about earlier about visualization, is you don't actually have to achieve anything to have these feelings, right? You can start to recognize how they show up for you in your body, just like we did in the grounding meditation, just like you can do in your own visualization practice. Really connecting with those feelings and recognizing where that physiological response is for us in our body. And step 3 in setting our intentions is taking aligned action. And so if I go back to that idea of service, and I think about lost my train of thought. I think about how it makes me feel, of course, which is fulfilled. And then the aligned action that I take for me personally, I go and give blood. That's what lights me up. It makes me feel that I'm giving of service, and it's that aligned and inspired action. So if you take your own example through those steps of setting an intention, is some questions you can ask yourself is, what consistent actions do I need to take? You may want to write these down in a journal if you have it. What energy do I need to embody to achieve this? What beliefs do I need to integrate? And you can just take some time to journal those out. And this is sort of like 3-step process for setting intentions. And perhaps you want to take each of your values that you identified through a specific intention and an aligned action, goal, or manifestation that you're desiring this year. So now that we've had some time to think about it, to get some clarity on our values, we all shared some of those. Hopefully we had some aha moments. But I ask you, what do you want to manifest in your life? I love this circle of life tool. It's 12 different areas that I think really capture some important characteristics, aspects, areas of our life that make us feel whole and fulfilled. And so if you reflect on 2022, what is it that you're desiring? Do you desire health and wholeness, an all-encompassing peace, elevated consciousness, romantic partnership? I know a lot of people mention that in the chat. Are you looking for your high vibe soul tribe? I see that here in Junior League, but maybe you're looking for something different. Are you looking for financial freedom or liberation? Are you looking for connection to a higher purpose? So I want to just take us through some practical examples of how this all plays out. So I'm going to share my own personal experience with you here in terms of calling in your partner. So I shared a little bit earlier. I was in San Diego, had a fiance. He wasn't right for me, just like my whole entire life, right? That's why I had to blow it up. But I have called in my person, and this is a bit of the intention setting, value setting, manifesting process that I followed. And so first I looked at the value that really drove this. And for me, it was about self-development. I look for self-development in myself, clearly. Hello, look what I do for a living. And it's like all over my personal and professional values, which I didn't share with you guys, but I will in the chat when I'm done. And so I started to look at how I was embodying that in my own life. I did a lot of self-reflection. How does self-development show up for me? What does it mean to me? And then I started taking aligned actions. I invested in my own self-development. I read endless books and podcasts, worked with coaches, took courses. Then I got really clear on what I wanted. I wrote down my list, what I was looking for in a partner. I had that self-reflection on how I was showing up that way or how I wasn't showing up that way. I reflected on past relationships and experiences, both romantic and platonic, to really connect with that feeling that I wanted to have with the person that I was calling in. And I sought out aligned activities. So for me, I knew in my heart, I knew in my gut, something I was getting more practice in following, that my person wasn't going to be on the apps. So that's not where I invested my time and energy or activities. And so I called him in. More on that soon. Another example, which I think will resonate with a lot of folks, because I heard many people sharing that in the chat. Maybe your manifestation desire this year is to make more money. And so I recently worked with a client who identified that this was a big goal or manifestation that she was working towards. And we got really clear on what the value was underneath that, right? And oftentimes money is tied to security. And for her, this showed up in both her personal and professional life. And actually what's really interesting is that she came from a very well-off family. So it's always interesting what our values are, right? Because being brought up in that kind of lifestyle and household, that was something that she really greatly valued for her life. So we got really clear on why she wanted this, right? Was it ego-driven? Was it based on her status that she needed to upkeep? Was it based on how she wanted to serve in the world? She could do more with more money. Was it based on her lifestyle, right? We got really clear on what that meant for her in terms of security. And then we started to do the visualization work, kind of envisioning her in this place, serving that mission that lit up her heart, really connecting to those feelings, you know, activating what her life would actually look like in with that manifestation coming true. And sort of her aligned actions there were casting her list, right? Just like when you're calling in a partner, you're calling in a new job. She cast her list on what she was really looking for, right? How much she wanted to get paid, where it was, what kind of benefits, what kind of feeling she wanted to have or connection with her boss. And her aligned action was saying no to lots of offers that were maybe just okay, so looked pretty good. And I'm so happy to say that she called in her dream job and is making a lot more money. So as you think about your intentions, perhaps you've gotten some that have become clear to you in this process. They are daily reminders. So I encourage you to really keep them top of mind. You can set alarm on your phone and have it go off throughout the day. You might put sticky notes on your computer. You might make intentions your words or passwords. You might make a pretty phone screen or graphic or put those words on a vision board. You may even write them in the first page of your journal. Just a couple ideas on how you can kind of keep intentions top of mind. And I really encourage you to set them regularly, right? Get in the practice. Practice makes improvement. We're doing this here now today in the beginning of the year. I encourage you to take a look at it monthly or weekly or even daily. And like I mentioned before, intentions are available to you all the time at any moment. And I truly believe that intentions are how we control the day versus how the day controls us. And they really are our secret weapons for manifestation. And our intentions are really the prayers and declarations of our desires. So just a really quick high level manifesting 101. You know, at the core of it, really manifesting is the result of the process, right? I said that's that thing that you kind of check off the list. Might be a new job or a new partner or a new home or a new apartment or whatever. Tends to be a more physical thing. But when you follow these steps and really put yourself in alignment, it's there. I promise you. You follow the steps and it will come into you. And you know, I really believe it's all about the belief, being consistent with your intention, holding the vision, and really continuing to work on your energy and alignment. And that kind of energy and mindset work might be podcasting, Reiki, coaching, you know, just some examples out there, right? Listening to great books on audiobook, you know, helping people get alignment into manifestation. You know, there's lots of practices that can support that. One of those being, you know, a morning practice, whatever that might look like for you, perhaps a spiritual practice, prayer, yoga, etc. Spending time in nature and having some gratitude on a regular basis. So I want to pause here and ask you what it is that you want to manifest in your life. And based on your values, what is it that you are desiring? I would love for anyone to share in the chat who's felt clarity on that. I'll share one of my own personal to kind of kick us off. So I mentioned to you, you know, growth and personal development is like a big value of mine, both in my personal and professional life, which obviously is a bit of an overlap. And I started to recognize where I was becoming uncommitted to that. And so I decided that commitment is my intention. And so every day I wake up and I think about my commitment. Am I committing to a meeting that I need to attend? Am I committing to show up for a client in a certain way? How am I committing to the support of my partnership? Right? That's my intention. That's what I sort of take through with the ultimate manifestation for me is supporting more clients. Right? So that's a little bit about like how my intention shows up in terms of my manifestation. So please feel free to share in the chat if you had some clarity on that. And if you don't, you can share in the chat too. We definitely have a little bit of time for open coaching. So when you think about what it is that you desire, right, I shared a lot of different tools and practices that help us align into our manifestations, get clear on our values, get clear on our intentions. And there's lots of different support out there. So I really encourage you and invite you to seek that, whether that means leaning into your friends and your community, working with a coach or someone that you feel drawn to that's going to help you sort of condense that timeline and get you to that manifestation quicker, help you avoid some of the struggles and be able to show up in your life exactly as you deeply desire. So real quickly, just what I offer, if you felt connected tonight, I would love to hear from you. So this is a process that I take my clients through typically in like a 6-month period, right? We do a lot of this work. We do a lot of the mindset work as part of our coaching, and manifestations typically come. And so in addition to that, I am actually going to be launching a group program called Manifesting the One, right? I shared with you a little bit about how I did that for myself. And so I'm going to be sharing that process with others. That's coming up here at the end of February. I also offer Reiki healing, energy healing, crystals and sound bowls. And I have an annual women's wellness retreat. So Catherine popped a little bit of my information in the chat so we can connect, and I'm going to pop a little bit more in a minute. So my invitation to you, I want to support you in your manifestation. So like I said, I hope you had some clarity today, but if anything is coming up, you want to take this deeper, my gift to you is I'm going to offer a 30-minute follow-up call so we can dive into your individual intention setting and manifesting in 2021. And I'm going to pop that link in here in just a second. So I hope I delivered on my intention today, was that you learned something new, you found greater self-awareness and expanded your consciousness, you had clarity in your personal and professional values, really as that foundation, that seed for your manifestation, for that flower to bloom. You feel grounded and connected and aligned to an intention for yourself. You know that process, and I empower you and encourage you to reach out for support when you need it. So I leave you with this little quote, this inspiration, that each of you hold the greatness. Everything that we desire is already in the universe. It's already on our way to us. How exciting is that? The possibility is out there when we commit to that process and we come into alignment. And I love this little kind of description because it really ties into our theme today. So the seed for an oak tree has the same DNA as any other oak tree seed. The difference whether the seed grows and flourishes is not dependent on the seed, it's dependent on where the seed's planted, right? And we talked about planting as that intention. So making sure that your tree flourishes, your flower blooms is all the intention that you put into it. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so glad to have you. I'm going to go off Zoom. So if anybody's faces are there, I'd love to see you. And like I said, I'm going to pop my information in the chat so you can book a call. I'm here, we can chat. So anyone that wants to come off chat, please do. And maybe even Catherine, we could send a follow-up email if you wouldn't mind, if people had to pop off and miss my link.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Any questions or thoughts or comments? I see lots of thank yous. Thank you guys so much. This like really lit up my heart, and I didn't keep you too late. I wasn't sure how long we'd run with the exercise. So kind of right on time, which I'm psyched about as well.
Thank you so much. This was excellent. And I will follow up with everyone via email. Alicia, we can connect too as to what you want to be set out. But if anyone wants to follow up on the generous offer here this evening to kind of take this the next step further, that will come out in your inboxes sometime this week. Amazing. So I wish everyone a really nice night, and keep checking the Digital Cheetah calendar for more events coming up from the Social Events Committee. We'll let you all go. And Alicia, just thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful and I appreciate it so much. Wishing you all that you desire in 2022.
Bye, everyone.